You see the little shit going. That's a video. What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt Deville with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some breaking news concerning Bob Arum. Bob Arum completely shuts down the Anthony Joshua versus Tyson Fury talks, as he says, certainly not this year. Wow. Bob Arum makes a huge statement, says Anthony Joshua won't be able to defeat Kubrat Pulev, speaking in context of the recently agreed fight between Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury for the unified heavyweight crown. Bob Arum said that the match isn't likely to take place. Just this week, sources, of course, revealed that Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua has agreed to a two-fight deal for 2021. Though the agreement was in principle, everyone sees the deal going through because the fight is for the unified title. It comes with great demand. Both of the fighters must hold their title at the time, and for that, they need to win their upcoming bouts. Tyson Fury will take on Deontay Wilder in the trilogy bout to settle all ties, and Anthony Joshua will take on his mandatory Kubrat Pulev, and legendary promoter doesn't see Anthony Joshua coming out of victories at the end of the fight, and hence says the deal for 2021 is unnecessary. Wow. Okay. Arum, let me tell you about Arum, okay? Arum has confidence in his fighter, but I think he has more confidence, or let's put it this way. I think Bob Arum, his bitterness towards Andy Ruiz is showing, okay? Bob Arum used to have Andy Ruiz as a fighter. Bob Arum didn't believe in Andy Ruiz. Andy Ruiz paid out his contract, left Bob Arum. He then gets another manager with Al Heyman. Al Heyman gets him the Dimitrenko fight. Then he gets the Joshua fight. Then he beats Joshua. And ever since Andy Ruiz beat Anthony Joshua, people, Bob Arum has had it in for Anthony Joshua. Bob Arum stopped believing in Anthony Joshua because a person and a fighter, which is Andy Ruiz, which he did not believe in, beat the guy that he once upon a time believed in. Even he said it himself. That was not Anthony Joshua in the ring, because he could just not believe a fighter that he had on his stable could do something to a fighter that he didn't. A fighter that he pretty much let him go. All right, bye-bye. Go ahead, fat ass. Go find you someone else. And that's exactly what Andy Ruiz did. Okay? So, knowing what we know now, Bob Arum doesn't believe, because obviously if Andy Ruiz, which is a fighter he doesn't believe in, can take out Anthony Joshua doesn't mean much. Isn't that much of a fighter. So of course his fighter, which he promotes, Kubrat Pulev, should be able to knock out Anthony Joshua. But that doesn't stop him, and it didn't stop him for being up under these particular negotiations for Tyson Fury versus Anthony Joshua either, did it? If he was so sure that Kubrat Pulev would knock out Anthony Joshua, why is he agreeing to terms for a Tyson Fury versus Anthony Joshua fight? Think about it, right? So I know it's a such thing as, looking ahead and all that, but if he was that hell-bent on Kubrat Pulev knocking out Anthony Joshua, he wouldn't waste the time. Like he said in this particular interview, hey, it's unnecessary, right? The negotiations or the deal for 2021 is unnecessary, because it will be no Tyson Fury versus Anthony Joshua in 2021, because Kubrat Pulev is going to knock Anthony Joshua out. And he said that before, but he makes this a huge statement, okay? This is also what Bob Arum had to say. He said, Bob Arum said, this is bizarre in discussing a potential fight between Fury and Joshua. 4 to 6 weeks ago, we arrived at this formula that the fight would be a 50-50 and the next fight would be 60-40 depending on who won the fight. He also added, so for me, this old news, nothing else is decided, and there's a lot of issues with television in fourth that I'm sure time will be decided. There are only two little problems. Bob Arum is Tyson Fury's promoter. Speaking about it, Bob. And the only problem is my guy Fury still has a rematch against Wilder, and Wilder is not a pushover. Remember how everyone thought Wilder was going to be for Fury going into the last fight? Well, I think we're going to see a different Wilder for this third fight, and for these two guys, as far as Joshua is concerned, that my guy Pulev, that I co-promote, will knock out, or will going to knock Joshua on his ass. Those are the words of Bob Arum. Now, reading this whole thing, this is what I look at. This is what I can put together. And this reassures, first of all, that MTK Global, Tyson Fury, Eddie Hearn, and now Bob Arum are all on the same page, because this is more than a rumor. This is actual facts. The breaking news that happened between Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua is more than rumors, okay? Because everyone is talking the same shite, people, okay? Everyone is talking and are on the same page. So he's just verifying that, yes, we are in talks. They have agreed to talks, nothing more, nothing less. What Bob Arum hopes is that, I don't really understand. I think Bob Arum, yeah, he does hope. He does hope that Joshua does get knocked out. Why? Because if Joshua gets knocked out, Pulev will have the belts, and then Pulev and Tyson Fury, which he also promotes, he can orchestrate a fight together, and nothing is more sweeter than a promoter that has all the belts or has both champions as his fighters. And that's what Bob Arum would have. So I think this is more like wishful thinking for Bob Arum than anything else. Okay? But of course, I had to show you guys where the seed was planted. The seed was planted with Andy Ruiz. It was a bitterness. No promoter wants to let a fighter go for that fighter to go and do what Andy Ruiz did. Counterpunch. That's why Bob Arum has got it in for Anthony Joshua. He's under the microscope, because now people are starting to doubt him. So, of course, it's up to Anthony Joshua to prove Bob Arum wrong. And then vice versa. Right? Because you got to get through Pulev and knock Pulev on his ass to show Bob Arum that, hey, yeah, you thought my fighter, or you thought your fighter would knock me out because of something that happened with a fighter that you used to have. Okay, this is what this is. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think of Bob Arum's statements. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.